Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Hi, how are you? This is Damaris Maria Grossman, and today we're talking about what are the myths about this GLP medications. I know that people are like, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this truth? Is there things that happen? And what can we do to really help ourselves be successful in this medication? So myth 1, semaglutide or tirzepatide are only used for diabetes and for patients that are type 2 diabetes. And that's not true. They are off-label and also now allowed for weight loss patients. Now, this is because it has now been approved by the FDA for weight loss. I'm using my notes because I have so many things to tell you about. It's to help not only improve your sugar, but also to help with overall inflammation within the body, helps decrease the fat, and also even in the vascular areas of the body, atherosclerosis, and helps breaks up some cholesterol, a lot of cardiometabolic benefits. So I am a big fan of these medications, and when the research came out of how much it has done for patients, not just morbidly obese, even in the overweight category, you'll be so surprised the decrease in cholesterol, fat loss, and in sugar levels. And diabetes, as you know, also usually come hand in hand, called diabesity. So diabetes, obesity. So as a person that's also been on these medications before, I have seen my blood work and my weight come down and be drastically changed, and I think it's quite amazing. So there is great effects. Myth number 2, semaglutide will always make you throw up. That is not true. It will give you some nausea on the first shot or injection that you get it, and each time that you get it, your body will get more acclimated and it will stay in your system for about 7 days or sometimes more for each individual. You can use natural remedies to get through that. If you have indigestion or heartburn, things can be used as natural, like ginger or peppermint tea. And also you have to decide what you're eating and how much you're eating and the quantity, and also excess alcohol. If you don't change any of your habits, none of this will change. So does that mean that you're going to throw up every day? No, it will not. But some individuals just can't handle this medication and they shouldn't be on it. Myth number 3, you'll lose weight without dieting or exercise. So you will lose weight without diet and exercise initially through this medication, but that does not mean everything. Now, you still have to change your behaviors. Now, no medication is going to change if you eat a large hamburger or fries and pizza. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not going to be able to eat all of those foods and think you're going to lose weight. No matter what you take is not going to change the metabolic changes within your body. But what the medication will do is will help decrease your appetite. And it will decrease the urges and the cravings and the need. And if you start listening and becoming more mindful, like my company and my business, I say, I'm very mindful about your health, you can change and make difference. So it's not that you have to exercise excessively or diet excessively. What you need to do is start becoming aware, start listening to your body and its cues, and you will make changes. Small changes every day will make a difference. And when you slowly titrate off this medication, you can change and stay in the right mindset. And it's very possible because people can do it. So that's myth number 3. Myth number 4. You need to be on semaglutide forever. No, you do not have to be on semaglutide or tirzepatide or those GLP medications forever. No. For individuals, there's maintenance medication. So first you can titrate slowly once a week, then every other week, then once a month. Then people can progress more. And then slowly through their habits and behavior changes, they are able to titrate off. Some individuals, if they have diabetes, they will need to be on this medication longer or at a different maintenance dosage. And some individuals may come back to the medication because they did not change some of their behaviors and they were not exercising or keeping up with some of their regimens. That does not mean they're going to gain all of the weight back. What usually happens is, say someone, for example, loses, the studies have shown 30 pounds, they will gain about 5% of that body fat back. But that's significantly better still in a cardiometabolic way when you think about it, because you're losing 30 pounds. You're not yo-yoing back up to 30 pounds. You will have changed your modified behaviors, and the 5% is only about 5 to 10 pounds the most, let's say, on average. Now, that's through the research, and, I'm not going to say that nobody will gain weight back, but if you look at the overall, what it's done for your body and the cholesterol and the sugar, you have helped yourself. So there is benefits to that. Now, will everybody be successful? No, but a good majority of people will. Myth number 5. All right, you will gain back all of your weight. No, we just discussed that you won't gain back all of your weight. Myth number 6 I've heard is Ozempic face. So that's, you may have already had a very heavy oval size face. Now, I do a lot of work in functional medicine, and I see a lot of patients with PCOS or inflammatory response, and their face is more of a rounder-esque face. Or if they are an obese person, they may also have a lot of excess fat in the chin and here. Ozempic face is that when you start to lose weight, that fat starts coming off. That isn't such a bad thing. The issue is, as you lose more, the collagen may come, or the fat here in the chin area. Not such a bad thing. What happens also is, if you lower your dairy and your inflammatory, or have more of an inflammatory diets, less sugar, less alcohol, less gluten, less dairy, you will start losing that moon kind of face, which are inflammatory responses, which actually has caused your hormones to be altered. And the medication in turn helps lower this inflammatory response, which will then help you lower that skinny face and get a little bit in that skinny face. Not all of it is bad. You just have to understand what your diet is, and the more that you modify it, you will not get that too severe Ozempic face or too severe fat face back, if that's what you're wondering. That's what people ask me about, and it's not all excess. It's just a matter of what is going on with you at the time. Now, is taking this medication off-label dangerous? It is not dangerous as long as you're being followed by a medical provider. Every medication has to be, addressed and followed by a professional. This is not something you should be taking from you don't go in it from a mail order. If you're getting this on mail order from who knows where, or an unauthorized, non-FDA approved facility, I'm sorry, but I don't approve that, and I think that is unsafe. So please make sure that you're doing things safely, because you're putting it in your body. You only have one body to live. Make sure what you're putting in it is the right stuff. My last part of the equation on here today is kind of talking about coming off the medication. Now, again, if you're still eating processed foods, you haven't adjusted some of your carb intake, you haven't thought about just even basic walking and hydrating, trying to improve some of your sleep and stress, you're going to gain some weight back. Not everything, but really think of this as a tool and a way to help your overall health. You may be somebody that may need the maintenance medication ongoing, and that's okay, but we have to follow you and see that. Things can change and you can do significant, and understand that, cravings will come back, but they won't come back necessarily as strong as they were before. And identifying that and being, talking with your provider, and then also maybe even needing a therapist if needed, having that on hand as you're titrating off these medications. That's a big part of it. And then understanding, like we talked about, all the different side effects that are available, or things if they come up for you, being aware of that. So another big part of some side effects that do come up is you do lose weight, right? And so when you're losing weight too excessively, That's why you have to be in the parameters. And when you're being followed by a provider, they're going to, make sure your body fat is okay. You're being healthy. You're not just taking this medication incorrectly, and things are going in the right direction, because you don't want to lose muscle mass too. So that in turn too, you want to make sure you're still kind of walking and keeping yourself moving and going and of that nature, because, just like, when you have a lot of medical, loss of weight loss, you can have excess skin. So that is something that I can't deny that does happen to individuals that are in the morbidly obese category. When they keep losing a lot of weight, they do have excess. But when you change your patterns, you may have to get some of that removed, but your overall fat loss has been significant. As long as you're, still keeping up with a good regimen, you may not lose any muscle mass. So that is a big part of, keeping yourself motivated and exercising and doing those in nature. If you have any more questions for me, those are the myths that I found. If you found other ones, let me know. And I look forward to talking with you again, and reach out to me at any time at Mindfully Integrative. And I hope you enjoy some of my other videos in this series. Have a great day, and make sure you make it a mindful one each and every day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not the substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.